Really, in a year you can make tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, just from your location data ground, passively. Now, there's a second tier of monetization you can have. This is where it gets better. Just wait. So Physical is releasing an app for geo missions. So the first use case is just you having a weather app or a neighbor, and your location data is collected. But the second use case is if you download a physical app and we send you on a geo mission. And basically what that means is that every room is shaped differently in this world. Like, look around, this is a very unique space, right? And if you think about a blueprint, Physical needs to know what the shape of a room is. They're not all squares. So we'll pay you extra tokens if we say, hey, Roy, I need you to walk around Spark Plus and then tag it. And so we'll send you and walk you around the border of this room and then tag it as Spark Plus, and we'll pay you more tokens for that. And then we'll save that. And if someone else does it and it was different, then you may lose some tokens because you may have lied. So that's a nice consensus way of getting geomission tokens.
I think he gave a really good example of this potential car buyers, maybe like used cars or just new cars. And just like what he said, so we have two tiers. So the first tier would be actually recognizing the potential buyers of something. So I always believe that the intrinsic value of the data has to be tied to the amount of revenue that this data generates. So if the data doesn't generate any revenue because it's useless data, it has data. This is the data with no value in it. So just like this case, we are actually really focusing on this wedding data. Who's getting married? And it's a really big data. So once in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime sometimes, but sorry about that. So,
sometimes not.
Yeah, sometimes twice. I know, yeah. I was just giving an example. So when you get married, you have to spend a lot of money on buying new cars or buying new electric products like TV or something. You need to go to honeymoon. You need to reserve for you need to book a wedding hall or something. So this data, to know about who's getting married in the near future, can be bought by a lot of people, like furniture companies, not just only IT companies, but actually in Korea, like Hansem, or I don't know, Body Friend. These guys are the ones who can buy this data and then target these customers. How do we know that? It's really interesting. So actually, Android users can be collected of their installed app list. So this is almost like a digital DNA of yourself, it's a digital fingerprint of yourself. So once you look closely into what kind of apps that you're installing right now, if you install like Skyscanner, Hotels.com, and then maybe Wedding by Me, these kind of apps last week, then we know that this man or woman is getting prepared to marry in the future. So this is something that we sell in the first tier. And the second thing is, I always think that the marginal cost of data can go up as much as the discount rate that can be given by these data purchasers. So in a later stage, we're not just selling these data with few dollars. We can actually sell your data even higher than 1,000 USD, per one data point, if you buy the product. So if you are willing to buy some product, and then these companies actually reverse bid for your willingness to pay, and then if you really buy the product and you can get 10% discount or 10% reimbursement, then that's the marginal cost of the data at the maximum level.
Sure, thank you. So the next question is going to be one of the toughest questions. So if your project ceases to exist today, would the world remember you?
Of course they would remember me. How could they ever forget?
Why would I remember you?
So the biggest reason is that you would remember me when, if you go on Facebook right now, for example, you can find out if your data was sold to Cambridge Analytica. Have you guys checked that out? There's a way you can test. My data wasn't. It's mostly for U.S. citizens, I guess, and some people in the UK for Brexit. But what's going to begin to happen is, as these data marketplaces that are black boxes, and they buy and they resell data and they resell it, and you see all these corporations profiting from your data, you're not getting paid from it, and you have no clue why, you know, you're seeing ads that you're seeing, and you have no control over it, you're going to wish that you were able to benefit, and you were able to redirect the usage rights.
Yeah, really fierce question. So actually, what I'm trying to do is, actually, I want to make people make real money out of their data, not just a few cents or a few dollars. So if I really make people really monetize their data, and then earn quite a bit of money, and they will miss this. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. If you had a chance to talk to a centralized data broker today, what would you tell him or her? Oh, okay, before you answer that, define what a data broker is. Examples.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of our competitors are, I mean, all of our competitors in the location data space are centralized. And, you know, basically they're running into problems right now where their customers are like, hey, is the data you're selling fraudulent? Because you can make a lot of money from making up data. It's just a table in an Excel spreadsheet at the end of the day, right? You can just do an equal random function and pretend like it's real. You'll get caught, you know, maybe, but you might be able to sell it for a long time. So a lot of these data buyers are getting smart. And they're catching on, they're saying, hey, I'm buying duplicate data sets. What's going on here? We need to fix it. So if I were to talk to all the centralized competitors out there, I wouldn't want them to, you know, I wouldn't want them to try to create their own protocol. I want them to use physical. Because physical is an infrastructure for anyone to use. You can use our token for free. And you can still run your own business using physical, you just need to use our token. So we're trying to enable an economy where transparency exists.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. So, you know, actually, I myself was quite surprised to see that some of the battery optimization apps, which like almost like half of the Korean use, is actually a data broker. So, I myself was quite surprised to see that. And then, yeah, I think just like you said, we are making the ecosystem itself. We're not becoming another intermediary so we're disrupting the market. We're not disrupting these data brokers. So I think we can coexist and actually make a better world.
Sure.
They actually participate in these businesses.
Sorry, I just have one last question. This is a very interesting question. It will pick up rates. So Facebook announced that it's exploring blockchain. What do you think is a possible blockchain use case for Facebook? just is it going to be a private blockchain or is it going to be a public blockchain? If so, and then if it's a public blockchain, what is it going to be?
I mean, what's going to be built on?
No, what's a possible use case for Facebook?
Oh,
for blockchain? Since they mentioned that they're exploring.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, Facebook is exploring dating apps now. I'm sure you guys saw that, where you can match potential dates via Facebook friends. It's not a huge surprise. They have a lot of data on you. They might know who you would want to be with. But, I mean, it sounds like it'll be a data marketplace-like structure, and selling heavily into advertising. The real question is, Facebook is already so big that when you actually trust it to be completely decentralized, you know, like when you actually trust that, that's why a lot of these massive companies that are out there, they're already so centralized. Facebook is the epitome of a centralized company. They didn't even know that Cambridge Analytica, you know, was doing that for such a long time. That's how big they were. So I'm sure they're announcing they're exploring it, and I hope that they become more transparent. So we'll see.
Yeah. So my imagination is there's actually Naver has a service called 지식인. It's a question and answers platform, just like Quora, just like Stack Exchange. So I think maybe something Facebook likes right now is knowledge. So they have interactions, they have social activities, but they don't have legit knowledge inside of the platform. So I'm actually thinking about this earn.com. So have you guys heard about earn.com? This is a place where you can actually ask questions and then pay tokens, and then these mentors answer to your own questions. So maybe Facebook can actually explore another field with blockchain, not revolutionizing their existing platform. They can actually start out another business, so maybe like Q&A service.
Sure, thank you so much. I think we're running out of time. I hope that the questions I posed are interesting enough, and I hope that you and Justin enjoyed the grilling session. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
또 이제 자유롭게